every single person is different with eating, and you do not need to look at all of this stuff out there in the world and think that you're doing a bad job, especially when there's all this fear out there around eating and what you should put in your body and what you
Yeah.
shouldn't put in your body. Welcome to the No Guilt Mom podcast. I'm your host, Joanne Crone, joined here by the lovely Brie Tucker.
Why, hello, everybody. How are you?
Today we're talking about food, one of my favorite topics in the entire world because I love food, Brie. I love food.
It's very delicious. It helps keep us alive. I honestly we have an episode where we talked with Erica of Momwell about the values that we had from growing up with food and everything. And it's always been a reward to me. It's always been
Yeah.
like a reward. So
Yes. So why does feeding our kids have to be so damn complicated? Like why why is like all the advice towards moms that, oh, if you like implied advice, by the way. If you really cared about your family, you would take the time to cook for them. You would take the time to like make things from scratch and make sure they don't have these artificial flavors and gluten and like all of these things and check these million things that they don't have. Oh, and by the way, fill this into your day, have a full-time job, and keep your sanity.
yeah. Yeah. It's a lot. Like it just from watching a lot of the videos out there, I'm like, damn, I need to buy stock in mason jars. Like I'm
And
just
make sure
nowhere near
meal prep containers.
the level I
Nice.
need to be. Like, yeah, like we'll go to we'll go to not necessarily the grocery store, but we'll be out shopping and I'll be like, "Oh my god, Miguel, what if we got these like little containers here?" And he's like, "What would we use them for?" And I'm like, "Because then we could like pack lunches and stuff." And he's like, I'm the only one that takes lunch and I only take it 2 days a week. I don't think we need like a 12 pack of like meal prep."
I
I'm like,
know, but
but that's what everybody's telling me I need to do. If I just did meal prep, I would be happier, I would be thinner, I would be healthier. It
exactly,
would
your
be the
kids would
magic
be
wand.
constipated, they wouldn't have ADHD, like, all of this rests on mom's shoulders, and
Yeah.
that's what we're gonna dig into in today's episode. But before we start with today's show, can we ask a little favor? Can you go rate and review this episode on Apple Podcast? We would so appreciate it. It helps get the word out about No Guilt Mom, really does us a solid, and also helps your fellow moms not feel so guilty about parenting, and living realistically is the goal for all. So if you can rate and review us, awesome. It'd be so
We
awesome.
plus we just love hearing what you think. We love hearing
Mm.
your feedback about the episode because you know
Yeah.
how hard it is to think up topics twice a week for the rest of your life? It's hard. It's not as hard
It's
as
hard.
feeding your kids and feeding your family for the rest of your life with the memo that I did not sign, but we would
Yeah.
love to hear from you guys. Please share. Please share.
So now let's get on with the show. You want mom life to be easier. That's our goal too. Our mission is to raise more self-sufficient and independent kids, and we're going to have fun doing it. We're going to help you delegate and step back. Each episode will tackle strategies for positive discipline, making our kids more responsible and making our lives better in the process. Welcome to the No Guilt Mom podcast. Okay. Oh, I get so heated about food, Brie. So heated. I think that meal planning causes me the most amount of stress of any of my mom duties whatsoever. I mean, how do you feel about this?
So, yes, I do. Like I sighed because I'm like, how do I articulate this in a very good way? Um not a good way. In a way that people will hear. So I guess what I'm going to start with is that to me, I do see the benefits of meal planning on the end of it saves me money. Like I have less food waste because I'm like being thoughtful about what we're going to eat. And
Oh,
that's about it
totally.
on the positives. That's it. Yeah, the
I agree with those
negatives.
positives.
Yeah,
They're great.
right? The negatives are when I have to meal plan, and for everybody that doesn't know this, but most of you do know that I'm divorced and I have my kids, I do 50-50 custody with their dad, which means they spend 1 week at my house and 1 week at his house. So every other week, our meal planning completely flips on its head because I have to include who's going to be home to eat dinner that day because both of my kids work and have extracurricular activities, as well as what are they going to eat? Because Miguel and I
Mhm.
like to eat like keto centric kind of meals, and my kids are not so big on that. So it's really hard trying to meal plan something that everybody will eat, and then also, like, trying to make sure my kids take on the responsibility of the days that they can cook, and then trying to be thoughtful about what they wanna make, but also be something that I can eat so that they learn not only, like, cooking skills, but being thoughtful of other people. And then there's just the fact that
Yeah,
it's a lot of freaking work. It
it is.
sucks.
It is
It
a lot of work.
sucks. And yeah, recently we had a week where I didn't do the meal planning. My husband did it for the whole week. It was amazing.
Wasn't it?
I couldn't stop telling him thank you. Thank you,
I
Miguel, if
I
you're
felt
listening.
the same way, like, because we did it for our summit week, and, like, I had my husband take it over, you had your husband take it over. It
Mhm.
was such relief off my shoulders, like, I felt like I could start like, have a full day of work, and at the end of the day, getting off of work and having dinner completely taken care of and waiting for me was just like, "This
This
is
is what it feels like to be on the
amazing."
other side? What?
This is what it feels like to be a man? What? No, I shouldn't say that, right? I get
No, but we
myself
were
in so
both
much
thinking it.
trouble.
We were both thinking it. This is what
We were
it's
both
like
thinking it.
to be a spouse of
That, like and it's, like, something it's something that we think we just have to be grateful for, that we have a family to take care of, and that we, have food we can serve, and, I mean, it's true. Totally grateful for that. But I also think that it comes with some complications. Like you said before, will our kids eat the food we make? There's always an argument about the food or thinking like the food is gross or like they don't wanna eat that
Yep.
variety of food
Yep.
or, "Oh my gosh, there's like a little spot on the strawberry. The whole bag of strawberries is now bad, and I can't touch a single one of them."
Or wait,
Like
here's our favorite in our house. What's that green stuff on there? It's pepper or it's like chives. Nope, not touching it. Nope.
not
I'm like, "You can eat around it." Nope, nope, not touching
no,
it.
and it's like, for people who are used to being the good girls and getting, the grades in school and for doing what we're told, it doesn't work in adult life. Like, you make this great meal, you put all this effort into it, and you get nothing. You get, like
And we understand, like, the thought I feel like we have to, like, give, like, a little bit of a background on this, like, we get that if you model good eating habits, that your children are more likely to eat good meals and to eat those things with you. However, we're telling you, we modeled the crap out of things, and we still
Yes!
hit a wall. So, like, if you are able to model great food to your kids and you've got like I have my ex-sister-in-law girl got like her toddlers eating salad. I don't know
Mhm.
what magic she had in that house that got them to eat salad, but I was like, "How do you get a 3-year-old to eat salad and ask for it and be happy?" She managed to do it, and you know what? Hats off to her, Sandra, you're amazing, you're awesome, but I never managed to have that magic, and, like,
Oh,
it
oh,
didn't work in
Brie,
my
it's
house. What?
it's funny. My son loves salad.
I
He
Robert
loves
will
well,
devour it now, but
but
not when he was 3.
here's the thing though, like, I love salad. I love it. I get very excited about a good salad. I it's just one of my weird proclivity. I just get really excited
At
about a
home,
good salad.
though? Like, are you
Yes,
happy
at
with what you
home.
can make at home? Okay.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, "Oh, I get to make salad. Oh, I have salad." And, like, I'm dancing here, and my husband and my daughter look over at me, and they're like, "You're crazy." Like, who says that about salad? That's so weird. But my son just started eating it, and he likes it too. Now, look it, I acted one way, and one kid is like, "Hell no." And the other kid is like, "Yes, I'll have it."
Yeah.
Same mom, just different different
Yeah.
children. And so it doesn't even matter if you, like, model it. It's not that you haven't modeled it well enough. It's just different personalities
Exactly.
like different things.
Exactly, and you
Yes.
could take that and be like, "Well, I," because again, we talk about the Bob in your head and Bob being like, "Well,
Ugh.
you suck at this apparently because your kids don't want to eat anything. Oh, yeah. I hear an earful about it from certain people about my kids, especially one of my kids, how she doesn't like to eat different colors and everything. And I'm like, listen, we try our best and we support her when she does do stuff, but I refuse to tell myself that I am a crappy mom because one kid will eat stuff and the other one won't. That's just not me. It's not
Yeah.
my fault. I
No, it's not
refuse
your
to
fault.
take responsibility for that.
Of course, and you shouldn't, and nor should you listening right now take responsibility for your kids' eating habits because I can tell you right now, every single person is different with eating, and you do not need to look at all of this stuff out there in the world and think that you're doing a bad job, especially when there's all this fear out there around eating and what you should put in your body and what you
Yeah.
shouldn't put in your body and all of like GMO stuff. And I have something so interesting about GMO stuff to brief for you. And I'll tell you right after this break. I've been looking for simple ways to form healthy habits and get the nutrients my body needs, even on busy mornings. And oh my gosh, has it been busy lately? And that's why I decided to give AG1 a try. Not only does AG1 deliver my daily dose of vitamins, minerals, pre and probiotics, and more, but it's a powerful, healthy habit that's also powerfully simple. It's just one scoop mixed in water once a day every day and it makes me feel energized. Even like I still add the coffee on there because I like it a lot. AG1 tastes really good too, and I enjoy my glass every single morning. AG1 is a supplement I trust to provide the support my body needs daily, and that's why I'm excited to welcome them as a new partner. If you want to take ownership of your health, it starts with AG1. Try AG1 and get a free 1 year supply of vitamin D3, K2, and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase exclusively at drinkag1.com/NGM. That's drinkag1.com/NGM. Check it out.
If you've been with us for a while, you've heard me talk about my dog Max. He's more than just my pet, he is my little lifesaver. Max joined us unexpectedly 9 years ago, and since he trotted his little furry butt into our family's life, he has been my constant companion. He's been with me through my divorce, my remarriage, our 3 different homes that we've been living in, the times where I've been too sick and could not get out of bed, he stayed by my side. And then there were the times when we were having so much fun and laughing so hard that his zoomies started and seemed to go on literally forever. I honestly don't know what I would do without him. He is my best furry friend. And if you are getting a new pet soon, that means that you need to be thinking about all the things you need to get for them, like food, toys, a bed. And something else you may not be thinking about is pet insurance. That is why you should check out ASPCA Pet Health Insurance.
The ASPCA Pet Health Insurance Program offers customizable accident and illness plans, making it easier for pet parents like you to help your pet get the care that they may need. They allow you to customize your plan, helping ensure that your pet's plan is as unique as they are.
The ASPCA Pet Health Insurance Program has been around for over 18 years and they have helped more than 600,000 pets during that time because vet bills can really add up, especially when you're least expecting it. It's simple, just go use their app to submit a claim and you'll receive your reimbursement for eligible vet bills directly into your bank account.
To explore coverage, visit aspcapetinsurance.com/no guilt. That's aspcapetinsurance.com/no guilt. Again, that's aspcapetinsurance.com/no guilt. This is a paid advertisement. Insurance is underwritten by either Independence American Insurance Company or United States Fire Insurance Company and produced by PTZ Insurance Agency Limited. The ASPCA is not an insurer and is not engaged in the business of insurance. So we hear all this kind of food lingo about our food, and a lot of it is tied to parenting and what we feed our kids. And I, it's so much taking one little thing from one little research study and trying to apply it to the whole population is what I see happening a lot in like the general media, in social media, in influencers who are like trying to like push a specific method on people. I see this in, like, if your child has ADHD, there's, like, a certain way you should eat for ADHD, and this person takes these little things and studies and then makes it into a big generality, and I just want you to make like, aware that this is happening in the world, and this could be where your guilt is coming from. And I wanted to tell you this thing about GMOs. So let's get into this whole thing because there's a lot. There's a lot
Okay.
in it.
I don't even know where we're going with this, so tell me about the GMOs.
Okay, so GMOs, you know how and like people are like, don't eat genetically modified like
Yeah.
ingredients. Don't
Oh,
don't
yeah.
have anything like that.
Yeah. By the
So
way,
my
my family's going to die because we do not buy organic fruits and veggies because as much as I would love to afford them, we cannot.
no, but here's the thing.
Right.
So I was set straight on this when we did this tour of dairy farms in Arizona. It was like an influencer tour, and we got to meet the actual farmers and what was going on. And he's like, "You know what? Like this whole thing against GMOs is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Because of like genetically modified ingredients, we are able to feed people the nutrients they need to stay alive in countries like that don't have these things. Like there's something called golden rice where they're able to put nutrients into rice,
Mhm.
basically, so that
Right.
all these people who eat golden rice, and I can't remember the country, I don't remember it off the top of my head. Just look up golden rice and you'll know what I'm talking about. These people would die of like scurvy, of like vitamin deficiency, if not to be able to feed them this genetically modified organism to get them what they need. It is GMOs that allow for like our food supply. So when we attack things blindly, like GMOs and saying like everything is bad, it's just really not looking at the big picture here. It's not even saying that they're not even bad. It's just something that people have like stuck their little thing in and like tell everybody else what to do. Maybe it's a rebel in me that doesn't like this pre.
I'm seeing some rebel side of it, but also what I'm
Yes.
seeing is that the issue with it being used, and this is gonna be heavy-handed, guys, being used in a way to weaponize guilt for us as moms for not doing everything from scratch. From not,
Yes.
like
It's
yeah, from, like, feeling from feeling like we suck, and I was telling you before we started this episode, like, part of my nitpick on this whole thing is, like, yeah, I'll be on, uh, TikTok, Instagram, whatever, and somebody that I follow because I know them in real life, and they're a really awesome cook and everything, and they're doing food prep, and they're showing you, "This is my week-long series on food prep that you could do for your family, or a meal that everybody will eat." And I watch it, and the video takes 30 seconds, and I'm like, "Oh, I could do that." Forgetting that
Mhm.
they cut out for the editing the 45 minutes it took to do all that to get the
and
fruit.
how long it took to get the supplies in those little dishes that they
Uh-huh.
just dump in.
Yes,
Mhm.
to
It
make
takes
it,
a long
like,
time.
perfect and everything, like, my husband and I actually really enjoy cooking from scratch with each other, but that's because we have a system, and we have a system of how we do it where, like, he does, like, the food prep, he'll do the washing and the chopping, and then I'm the one who actually is, like, reading the recipe and getting the other ingredients together and doing the actual like, doing the cooking of the ingredients, but if I was trying to do all of that myself, I lose my sheez. I get upset, I get mad, it's like, "Nobody come in the kitchen, mom is pissed because it is
Well,
so hard and so long, and your kitchen looks like crap afterwards.
it is, and it's
Everywhere.
weaponizing guilt. It's weaponizing guilt. And part of this issue is that we could make our lives easier if we were able to fully accept that it is okay to get a frozen lasagna from the
It
store and
is.
put that in the oven for dinner.
I
It
think
is
it's
okay like
delicious.
yes, it's delicious. It is okay to use taco seasoning in a packet and add that to your meal.
Yes.
Like you don't have to make it from scratch.
Oh,
It is
wait, did
okay.
I tell you that my sister, like sorry, going back to lasagna, I made,
Yeah.
like, frozen lasagna one day, and she was like, "Ew. Ew, you made it from ew." I'm like, "That was not nice or supportive at all." Like,
No.
"Hmm."
Frozen lasagna, Stouffer's, the bomb, the
I'm
bomb.
not everybody can make delicious lasagna from scratch, Shanna. I love you,
Oh
but
my
no.
gosh. I appreciate a good lasagna from scratch, but I also appreciate a good Stouffer's lasagna. It's
Yes,
very delicious.
the
It's
del
very
and
delicious.
the mental load that it alleviates and the that it takes away from you is
Mhm.
scrumptious. It is
Yeah,
scrumptious.
it's great. But and so the thing that gets me so, like, hot and bothered about this whole thing is because I had an eating disorder. And I'm still very, very, like, sensitive to eating issues, and I have to not regulate myself, but more, like, protect my brain from it. Like,
Mhm.
I was bulimic in high school. It was something that I did not admit publicly probably until a few years ago. I kept very secret because I ate to conceal my emotions, and I didn't deal with the emotions.
Yeah.
But it's the mindset that goes with that. So when I see stuff in social media or on Instagram, I noticed that my mind was latching on to things that I thought I had to do. So for instance, like if you see like, oh, you shouldn't eat gluten and everything, and here you are having these stomach problems, automatically I'm like, oh, I can't eat gluten and things. And then guess what? The amount of food choices that I have went down astronomically so that here I am thinking about food 24/7, but
Yeah.
I feel like I don't have anything I can eat. And so I don't know what to eat. And so then I go overboard on the eating because I've taken myself to a point of deprivation and starvation. And I think that's
Yeah.
very common. I don't think that that's unique to me. I see it happening actually in people I'm close to where they'll read something on Dr. Mercola's site. I hate,
I don't know who
but
that is.
don't eat gluten, don't eat this, don't eat that. And they will be so restrictive on their diet. And they're here trying to quote unquote lose weight, but they're saying they have like no success in it because they're taking out all these things from their diet and then they're like, "Oh yeah, but then I was bad and I ate all these things." And I'm like, "You weren't bad. Like your human body was just trying to survive because it was restricted for so long that it went on this other course to get the nutrients it needs. It like took things into its own hands.
Yeah.
And it wasn't anything about willpower. So when you see stuff geared towards moms telling you that you should not have this, and I specifically latch on gluten because it was something that I saw over the weekend that it was about kids with ADHD and about how gluten is bad for everyone. Like they said this in the post. Actually, gluten is bad for everyone. And I see this and I'm immediately Googling, is gluten bad for everyone? And I
I'm
find like,
getting flashbacks to the MMR vaccines, like when
oh,
nobody would take the vaccine because they were like, "It's going to cause my child to have autism," and I'm like, "You know that has been debunked." "Yeah, but I still believe it." "Okay.
no,
Alright."
it's really dangerous to put this information out there because when I looked up is gluten bad for everyone and I found an article from Harvard Medical School, which I trust Harvard Medical School. They say like no, it's not true. Gluten is actually bad for some people. Some
Yeah.
people's guts can't process it. And it doesn't work with those people. But actually, it's really beneficial for other people because it gets them the fiber and the nutrients they need. And if they totally cut out gluten, they have no idea what to eat. And that's the thing. Like when you cut out a food ingredient, you cannot just cut out that food. You have to also gain the knowledge for what you put in its place to get the stuff you need from it. You
Very
like they
true.
suggest if you take gluten out of your diet, you should be working with a nutritionist so that they can suggest the alternate foods you need in your diet to replace what you are missing from that food. And that is something that does not get addressed. You think like you could just cut it out and you can be a good mom and do all those things, but actually it's a lot more complicated than that.
Yeah.
So I get very upset because I'm like, these people are going to be restricting this from their diets and for no reason whatsoever, going to be causing themselves so much misery for no reason. And it's all this person saying you shouldn't eat it.
So at a bare minimum, what we're saying is if you feel like you saw something that's gonna be a good, helpful thing for you, talk to somebody that, oh, I don't know, is an expert in that area, like a
Hmm.
nutritionist, your doctor. See if that is a positive thing to be doing. Because
Even
yeah,
Google it. Google it. Like total just Google it. Like you don't even have to go like just be like, Is this bad for me? What are the effects of this?" Like, and you'll
but
see
with that being said, I would say that when it comes to a lot of things, like if you just flat out Google it, like you are going to be able to find the information you want to find.
oh, yeah, you have to make
So
sure
yeah,
about the
like I
source.
that's why I'm like I kind of feel like going to a doctor or nutritionist, especially when you're talking about making major changes to diet, like you really you need to go and do that because again, if I'm going to go back to my days of being home visitation and follow up and the amount of people that it was my job to help explain to them what the benefits were of vaccines, not to tell them to get a
Mhm.
vaccine, but what the
Yeah,
benefit was of getting immunizations for their children. And that they would tell me that they read 15 articles about how MMR was a terrible vaccine for their child. And then they would be quoting off like, the Homestead Mom's blog. No, no. Yeah, I know you Googled it and I know you found that, but that doesn't make that person an expert because their cousin's sister's
true.
child had issues after getting a vaccination. So yeah, yeah, obviously I'm getting like I'm getting flashbacks.
I know. Well,
To
yeah, no,
arguments
you're
about this.
absolutely right. It has to be
Yeah.
the source. And a lot of times, like, I'll know it's a good article if I see both sides presented. And usually when I do Google something and I find like a Harvard Medical School link, I will see that viewpoint represented, but it'll be like in this amount of studies, which is like 0.03%, we saw this. But overall, it was actually good, and I think people latch on to that 0.03% and be like, "It's bad," when that's not exactly how percentages work. So just be really careful when you're thinking about food in that way and you're seeing all of these advice on Instagram to like cook it from scratch. And we have a few more tips you can use to make this whole cooking for your family easier right after this.
Well, hey there, busy mama. Are you looking for ways to make your life easier, your home less chaotic, and at the same time add more joy to your life? My name is Deanna Yates, and I'm the host of Wanna Be Clutter Free, a podcast all about letting go of the stuff we don't need in our lives so that we can focus on what truly matters. Don't worry, I'm not going to tell you to throw it all away or make you feel guilty about keeping something you love, no matter how many other people don't quite understand it. But I will give you practical and, more importantly, actionable advice so that you can make progress right away. And you won't just hear it from me, there are amazing guests too. It's like having your bestie in your pocket telling you it's okay to let go of the things that are not serving you and your family in a totally non judgmental way. So join me over on the podcast where we can work on progress over perfection for those of us that want to be clutter free.
Oh, hey, everybody. It's us, Blair and Molly, your old pals from Toddler Purgatory. Two moms who are also actors, who are also creative beings, who sometimes feel stuck.
And now we're back with a whole new podcast about unsticking it, launching in January. What happens when life gets in the way of our creativity instead of nourishing it?
We talk to all sorts of guests about how to break through the mucky, gluey, sticky wall that can get between you and your creativity. We hear about their journeys, their successes, their challenges, and even their bougie coffee shop orders.
So, join us, won't you, as we deep dive into how to unstick ourselves from the life gunk that can get in the way of our creative freedom.
Get out of there, life gunk.
Let us help you get back to your best creative self. Look for Unsticking It with Blair and Molly.
Wherever you listen to podcasts, starting in January.
Unsticking It with Blair and Molly. Because sometimes life sucks.
Okay, so now let's really get to the good part. Like, how do we make it easy? We've really stirred the pot here about everything that is going on. And I would say that my big tip for making it easy comes from my husband, which is just make it hot. That's his philosophy in cooking.
What, like
When
hot
we're
spicy or hot temperature?
hot
Like
temperature.
what's he got against cold sandwiches and a good salad?
Oh,
I'm
he'd be
giving you
fine with
shit.
that too. But the amount of effort he put into meal planning that week, it
Mhm.
was, just make it hot. So he would get buy like burger patties and he'd put them
Yeah.
on the grill and cook up the burger patties. And then we have
Mhm.
burgers for dinner with like maybe a steamed pack of veggies. That's it.
Yep.
Or like just get a protein. And I love Trader Joe's has these marinated meats. Or like even grocery stores, like buy
Yeah.
just the marinated meat, put it on the grill. It's great. And then you just eat that and you could put it in salad, you could put it in a burrito, you could put it in a rice bowl, like you could put it anywhere. You
Yeah,
could put
like
it on your car, you could put it I feel like a Dr. Seuss novel now.
you can eat it in your car. You can eat it in
You
a
could
bar. I guess as far as I can think
let's
of
go
for
eat it in a
rhyming.
bar. That'd
I
be
don't know.
great.
But yeah, no, the same thing like at our like so like it's funny you brought that up. Like recently my daughter was talking about how one of her and this was literally like last weekend. one of her favorite meals I would make when they were little was called finger food night. And it's pretty much what it sounded like. It was all right, whatever it is that I can make that they can eat with their fingers, that's what we had. So, and I think she also liked it because when they were little, I would put out a picnic blanket on the floor and we would have an indoor picnic and sit and
Mm.
eat finger foods. And finger food night had chicken nuggets, it had popcorn shrimp, it had mozzarella sticks, it also had carrot sticks and apple slices. And like I think, oh, I for a while there got them eating zucchini because I called it fried sticks. Just didn't tell them it had zucchini in it. And they
Uh-huh.
loved them until someone said the word zucchini. And then, not that they had any idea what it was, but right then it was gone. The magic of it was gone. But I mean, yeah, like it's all about how and that was the easiest dinner too. That was so freaking easy. I loved that dinner because it took me like
Mhm.
10 minutes to make. Just popping everything in the microwave and it was like done and it was a mom win. And
Yeah.
I could say like a lot I could feel a lot of judgment that would come down on me if I shared that as an expert tip on social media
Oh my
of
gosh.
like, "Oh
I'll
my
do
god,
it,
that's so
Brie.
awful."
We could be
Oh,
like expert cooking tips for your kids. Oh, I would do
oh,
it.
pick up the phone, teach them how to order a pizza. No.
Yeah,
Just
I
make
know.
sure you got the cheese, that's dairy, you got the tomato, that's a veggie/fruit depending upon how you look at it. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
It all works. But I mean, yeah,
It
like
all
we
works.
would have sandwich night. They could have like whatever they wanted to put on a sandwich. Like you're right. It's really you don't have to overthink it. Yes, there's something to be said about wow, I made this amazing complicated meal. But when you put that kind of pressure on yourself for every day for 18 years, it's a lot.
It's a lot. No, it is a lot. Like I can't like even when I saw those lunch making videos in the past about all these bento boxes things that making for kids,
Oh
I
yeah.
was like, okay, wait, how much does it cost us for groceries and how much is school lunch? School lunch. School lunch sounds like a great thing. It's about the
It's
same
funny.
actually.
It's
Yeah.
yeah, it's funny how that is. Like one of my favorite ones, and it was a while ago. You probably remember back when we used to do the drama-free homework groups before school started. Like there's a video of like this mom making the perfect bento box and a dad watching it. It's like a stitch as he's like putting in the apple juice box and the Gushers pack
Mhm.
and he's like, Lunchables this oh, they need celery, they need something green, alright, and he grabs, like, a limp thing of celery and sticks it in there. All of us know that celery is going in the trash. Why are you putting that
Yeah.
in the box? It's
Well, it's well,
okay. You're doing the best you
yeah.
can.
And it's also good, like, another tip I have is have kids make their own lunches and have
Oh,
kids
yes.
participate in the dinner process because that really gets them eating their food in particular.
Mhm.
Like, my kids are taking a meal now each week. It's harder for me my daughter to take a meal on during, like, the school when school's in session, like, right now it's spring break, so she'll do it. But when it's not school break, I'll be like, "Okay, well, we're getting a lasagna from the store." And immediately she's like, "I hate lasagna. I'll just do something else." And then she makes her the food. I'm like,
Sounds
"Okay,
fantastic.
totally works. Totally works." But having kids make the meals and having them decide what is in the meals is so, so great because then it's not you presenting this food they should eat. It's them actually having the decision and they eat the food. They
Well,
really eat their food.
they do, and I would say, like, in that case too, like, if you're listening to this and you're thinking, "Nope," because my kid would pick, like, a frozen pizza and that's it. You can throw in some criteria and being like and I don't think that's going too far. Saying like, "Okay, you can make what you want for dinner, but I do need to make sure that there's at least a fruit or vegetable
But it's so
accompanying it."
easy to do
And then they can
that.
pick
Like
whatever they want.
frozen pizza, it's like, "Okay, let's just pick a fruit or vegetable." And they're
Yeah,
like, "Okay, this bag of broccoli, put it in the microwave." I'll be like, "Done, fine."
fine. And if they're like, "I hate veggies, I'm not gonna do it," then fine, then pick a fruit. What do you
Mhm.
like? Because chances are good your kid will eat at least one fruit or veggie in some way, shape, or form, and you can encourage them. And like you just said, the more that they get to do it, the more that they're going to be open to the idea of other foods,
Yeah,
and it
and
and
it
it
can be as
builds
simple
that.
as taking the bowl of grapes out of the fridge and putting it on the
Yes.
table. That is
Yes.
what that's what can happen. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep. So we hope that you found some reassurance in this episode that you do not have to make everything from scratch, nor do you need to listen to all of the influencers out there telling you to avoid gluten or GMOs or anything like that.
Or buy
And
stock in mason jars just so you have
yeah,
enough room
buy
for all
stock in
the
mason
sliced veggies and fruits. Good God.
yeah. And just know that what you're doing, all you have to do is feed your kids. Just feed your kids. And that could be like a box of chicken nuggets. It's fine. It's okay. They will get what they need. So until next time, remember the best mom's a happy mom. Take care of you. And we'll talk to you later.
Thanks for stopping by.
I'm Margaret.
And I'm Amy.
And together we host the podcast, What Fresh Hell? Laughing in the Face of Motherhood.
Margaret, I would say you're sort of a where are my keys kind of mom.
Correct. Sometimes a where are my kids kind of mom. While you're, Amy, more of a we were supposed to leave 35 seconds ago mom.
I mean, touche. In each episode of What Fresh Hell, we come at a topic from our usually completely opposite perspectives. I bring the research.
And I bring kind of the gimlet eye. Like, is that research really going to work, people?
And almost 10 million downloads later, we're still laughing.
We also talk to experts in the parenting field, plus parents with stories we can all learn from.
We make each other laugh, we challenge each other's assumptions, and we have what we think is the best parenting community on the internet.
Check out What Fresh Hell? Laughing in the Face of Motherhood wherever you listen to podcasts.